coach / senator. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
You look good. You feeling good?
Oh, my God. I tell you what, first 4 years I was up there, we took a beating from the socialist communist Biden administration.
And, good grief.
And, I mean, we were sinking in quicksand fast, and thank God President Trump got elected. People woke up and said, no, we're not giving our country.
In a big way.
Yeah, in a big way. And it's just been good to in one way, it's been good to work with him. My God, for 4 months we ain't slowed down. I mean,
it's different, isn't it?
It is totally different, and he's making progress every day in everything. You got to think about it now. If you run a football team, you got one or two problems. President Trump,
oh my goodness,
he inherited a absolute disaster, not just in our country and our borders, Mexico, Canada, all over the Middle East, all over Europe. I mean, you got to think about this, and I'm going to say this: Europe's gone. They got to Europe for the last 15 years. Immigration, illegal immigration, it just killed them.
Oh, yeah.
And so we don't want to go down that path. We were the last big apple on the tree, and they went after us. And they went after us full force to try to overrun our country with illegals and bankrupt us and everything. Ruin our education. They've done a pretty good job of it, but we're coming back. Americans have stood up and said enough of this nonsense is enough.
And and some of the things that were done early, we're now seeing that everything's starting to shift economically. So now that's starting to move a little bit. There was a little bit of shock to the system, which you're going to have.
Oh, you got to do it.
Yeah.
He had to do the tariffs. I mean, it's the only way we can pay this $37 trillion debt off. American taxpayers can't pay it off. I mean, they pay in, $4.9 trillion a year, and we spend that in the first 7 months. And then we've got to find money from other places, and so it's got to come from tariffs. Other countries, basically, we've had a party here in this country for 250 years. Everybody else, all the other countries have come. They've not brought gifts or food or anything.
Didn't offer to help you pay for the band.
No, they've all come in and just taken what they can get and lived off the American taxpayer in our country. Game's over. We can't do that anymore. We have been so gracious to everybody, and it's time that we took care of Americans and people in this country first, and then we can help. But it's all flipped on us, and that's what communism and socialism is just have a group of power-hungry people, not just for this country. The Democrats want to take over for the world. I mean, this just was not just taking us over because, as I said, they've already taken over the other countries most other countries around the world.
And everything seems to be trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Now, did you fly here on the new plane that Trump just got?
Well, they went after him on the floor yesterday before I left. I flew here last night, and I went right back at him. I said, my gosh, folks. I mean, they offer us a $400 million gift not to Trump. I mean, this is to us. Boeing, which is an American company, we can't make an airplane right now. I mean, they're so far behind in making planes, but they did make this one. This is an American-made Boeing 747 that I don't know whether the president will ever get on it.
Right.
But, if they want to give it to us, fine. And, we give other people things.
Yeah.
They take it.
Sure.
It's not a bribe. We still do have friends, and the Saudis and the UAE's friends, and they're going to help us solve all the problems in the Middle East. But the media in this country is just so overbalanced in terms of socialism and communism, and most of them don't know what they're doing. They just see that President Trump's a crook. No, you just saw a bunch of convicts the last 4 years because they stole. Look what Doge has found. And the Democrats are so mad that their cheese now is gone, that they can't steal all the money they've been stealing. And everybody's saying, well, what's Coach talking about? Folks, you have been robbed. You have been robbed by the federal government in Washington, D.C. for years and years and years, not just Democrats, but Republicans. President Trump is trying to get that balance back out. And the one thing that I'm proud about President Trump, he's putting God back in our country. And, folks, if we don't do that, it's going to be over.
That's all good news. You saw how bad it was.
Oh.
Do you want to make some announcement on the show today?
No. I've had a lot of people come to me and want me to run for governor.
Right.
Okay. President Trump is, he's adamant that he has good people in the Senate. So we do have a lot of rhinos. Everybody knows that. My wife and we've talked about it and prayed about it. I want to do what's best for the people of Alabama. I've gotten to the point where, my God, what I've learned in the last 5 years.
Oh, my goodness.
In politics. I didn't know anything about politics, but I do.
Were you shocked at what you found?
Absolutely floored.
Right.
Floored. And, I can help either way, and I'll make a decision here in a couple of weeks. Where can I help the most of the people in Alabama? And that's true. I don't care about being called governor. I don't care about being called senator. Everybody calls me coach. This is not an ego. I could care less. I want to help. Now, we got a lot of capabilities and things going on here now because President Trump, what's he doing? He's sending the power and the money back to the states.
Right.
And so if I make that decision to do governor, we'll know how to do it. We'll know how to put things together. We'll know how to make Alabama better, as the other states will, and governors, because even the blue states, he's given the power back to the states and let them run it. Now, unfortunately, these blue states have a different idea how to run their state, which is run it in the ground and not do it the right way. But I'll make a decision and what's best. Again, it's an opportunity either way. And again, President Trump is that guy that got in, where I do have this choice that I can make.
Yeah, I'm torn on it. You and your wife got to find out what God wants you to do. But I hate to lose, like you just talked about in the Senate, because that's such a powerful branch there, and the Senate has got so much influence. But then I see being specific to the state versus the whole country. I see all that. Mm-hmm. That's up to you to decide. I'm torn on it though. And I thought about you. I laughed my head off, and I won't say anything else about it. So we're doing a lot of stuff, with men's ministry, and they're booking my travel to go to Seminole, Texas, to speak for the weekend. Look, he's already nodding. So I'm talking to the travel guys, and I'm like, so where am I going? They said, well, you're flying into Lubbock. And when they said that,
don't start Speedy. What the heck?
I said, I'm going to text Tuberville and say, guess where I'm flying?
Yeah.
And so
hey, y'all almost stopped my political career and dead in its tracks. All my buddies call me. They still call me on that.
Well, so I just thought, that's all I want to say is I want you to know that I'll be flying into Lubbock in June.
And going to Seminole. My mom grew up in Seminole.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's I tell you what, I really loved it out there. And again, the wind blows, and there's a lot of things that are negative about every place.
Of course.
And I'm going to tell you, God-loving people and great conservatives that love this country.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are out there.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to look far.
Okay, good.
You're going to run them everywhere you walk.
Yeah. So I think it's June. Is it 7th and 8th, something like that? Yeah. So
I've heard you speak. God's given you the gift of gab. My God, son. I mean, you do a great job of speaking.
Well, thank you.
And you got a good message too.
Thank you.
So stay on it.
Thank you very much. And you're pretty good yourself. Top of the hour, Coach and Senator Tommy Tuberville visiting with us today. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I've given him a copy of the book Men Don't Run in the Rain, and he'll be reading that on the road.
I'd love to read about people like your dad.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.